Freck, the upstanding citizen of the law, cruelly used as a meat shield by Kenobi. But what if Freck took action? What if Freck captured Kenobi? Hello and welcome back to Vault Holocron. So for this what if, I'll start from when Kenobi and Leia are on Freck's transport on the way to the Imperial inspection. Just like in the show, Freck tips off the stormtroopers to look into Kenobi and Leia. We will be starting from when the Viper probe droid attempts to scan Kenobi's face. Kenobi draws his blaster and fires it at the droid and some of the stormtroopers. Freck hid. It was the job of the stormtroopers to fight for the Empire, not his after all. However, despite the advantage in numbers, Kenobi was winning. Freck saw Kenobi approaching. Without a blaster, what could he do? His heart was pounding, and then he felt Kenobi's strong grip around him. Pew! Another stormtrooper down. The sounds of the blaster bolts were deafening as they just barely missed him. Angry, Freck used all the strength he could muster to throw Kenobi over his shoulder. This Jedi scum needed to answer for his treachery, but Kenobi held on. The pair of them hit the ground with a thud, scrambling around. Freck plunged his claws into Kenobi. The fight was over. Proud of his achievement, Freck called in for support from the Empire, stating that he had Kenobi captured. Eventually, several stormtroopers took Freck, Kenobi and Leia to an Imperial facility. Kenobi was just barely awake to see Vader striding over to him in his cell. Vader immediately raised Kenobi, promising to make him suffer. Kenobi just pleaded with Vader, "Did the years we spent mean nothing to you? I loved you." Vader pushed Kenobi against the cell wall, and Kenobi grunted in pain. Kenobi then said, "You betrayed all we had for this. The war had ended, we had peace, and you traded everything away for a system worse than the Separatists?" Vader drew his crimson blade and in a fierce swing, launched it at Kenobi. Kenobi's arm hit the ground, as Kenobi screamed in pain. Vader then replied, "I am no Separatist. The Separatist Council died under my blade. The same blade your corrupt Republic fell under." Kenobi then cried, "The Jedi weren't ideal, but you can't seriously think Chancellor Palpatine is better." Vader responded, "The Emperor is not your concern." Kenobi then said, "It's not too late to turn to the light. You and I could fight the Emperor together as Jedi." Vader, now with Anakin coming to the surface, responded, "You left me burning in the fires of Mustafar, not even the mercy of a lightsaber." Kenobi replied, "You left me no choice, Anakin, and I couldn't bear to watch my friend, my brother, die." Vader replied, "Anakin is dead. I am what remains," as he slowly dragged his lightsaber through Kenobi's legs and other arm. He then let go of Kenobi through the Force, and left Kenobi lying on the floor. Vader then left the room, returning a minute later, holding Leia. Kenobi begged, "Anakin, please no, it's me you want, not her." Anakin then pressed his lightsaber through Leia's chest. Little did he know, he had just saved the people of Alderaan. Kenobi would spend the rest of his days in Vader's castle, only knowing pain. Bail Organa, nervous of Kenobi's safety, reached out not long after Kenobi was captured. This communication was all the evidence the Empire needed to place Organa under a death penalty and induct Luke into the Inquisitor program. As for Freck, he had got a taste for fighting for the Empire, and he liked it. He could do what the trained soldiers couldn't, all without a blaster. The Empire typically only hired humans, but in the case of Freck, he had proved himself far more useful. Freck was trialed on a few basic missions at first, but it all came so easy to him, to the point where he wondered why he hadn't started earlier. Yoda, sensing the loss of both Luke and Leia, decided he would have to make a stand. Using the Force, he reached out to Palpatine, disclosing his location. Palpatine, still fearing Yoda, put together a team of hundreds of stormtroopers, every Inquisitor, Vader, and his best soldier, Freck. Yoda, knowing the environment of Dagobah very well, decided he would use his knowledge to his advantage. Arriving on Dagobah, stormtroopers very quickly began to fall to the huge spiders and other wildlife that roamed the planet, but not Freck. He could handle himself. Vader, followed by the Inquisitors, used the Force to track Yoda to the Cave of Evil. The Inquisitors, Vader, and Freck entered, only for each Inquisitor to swing erratically as they saw the images that haunted their nightmares. Legions of clones, the friends that they had fought side by side with, turning on them. Vader saw the Emperor, but he wasn't going to get distracted. He had come for Yoda. As for Freck, he had no fear, only passion for the Empire, and so he saw nothing. Yoda and Vader clashed blades, Yoda bouncing around the cave, only visible as a green blur of light amongst the glowing red blades. Despite being restrained by a mechanical body, Vader held his own, his power still immense. Freck wasn't just going to take the sidelines though. He had taken down one Jedi Master. What's another? He ran over to Vader and Yoda, whose blades were tightly locked together, and swung his claws. Yoda, preoccupied by the intense battle with Vader, underestimated Freck, and took the swipe to his back, falling to the ground, his strength on the blade weakening, allowing Vader's crimson blade to overpower him, dicing him up. The mission was a victory. Now the rebellion really had no hope. Palpatine and the Empire were beyond impressed with Freck, awarding him everything they possibly could. The Empire rarely ever admitted when they were wrong, but with Freck around, how could they not? They realised that clone troopers weren't the problem, but the template was. With Freck as the template, they would have loyalty and power. Palpatine, using his resources on cloning, forged the Imperial Clone Army. It took several years to get the clone army operational, but once it was, no insurgency stood a chance, and the Empire lasted forever, never once being challenged by a worthy opponent. So that was what if Freck captured Kenobi. I hope you enjoyed the video, and that you'll enjoy watching other channels' April Fool's videos. It may be the 1st of April, but this video is deadly serious. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.